when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something. Yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All of this cloud and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you wanted to be. I feel right and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all other haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away. So when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's what you need when you're down, need when you're out. It's what you need when you're sad and when you feel left out. You feel an energy drought and then creeps out, but with a little bit of hope you can figure it out. Keep your head high even when you're down inside. Through the pain you fight and through the painful nights you keep striving, keep trying, keep driving, rising, keep thriving, surviving. Nothing's in your way but yourself. Don't need nobody's help. You can make it through this hell. Take it one step at a time, one step as you climb. If you fail you'll be fine. Keep back up to the grind and never lose sight of your mission. Be driven. This life is a prison if you don't have vision. You're in it to win it, so get it, don't miss it. Your chances now, so be something somehow. Don't let yourself down. That's right. Sometimes all we really need is hope.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous about whatever it is that they are going to tell us today. Um, I want him to be found so bad. So bad. And I just want closure for this family. And I'm just getting anxious, I guess, as the closer this goes. So you think they found him? I honestly, I wonder. We've seen in cases lately where they do find the individual and they wait several days before they notify the public. The family is as in the dark on this one as we are. They don't know anything, and if they do know anything now, it's because they were just told like this morning or leading up to this. And so it's very, very hard to say. Let me show you guys the couple articles that came out this morning about the press conference coming up. And we will wait. We got about 12 minutes before it is supposed to start. So let's look at News Nation first.
Michael Vaughan disappeared last year when he was just 5 years old. Today, police are going to hold a press conference a few hours from now, and they are expected to reveal what they found while excavating a neighbor's backyard. This family, tragic as it may be, are hoping for answers, for closure, and that this isn't another false lead. Here's a look at Michael's story.
For more than a week earlier this month, heavy equipment worked in the backyard of a neighborhood home just blocks from where 5-year-old Michael Vaughan disappeared. Police saying they received credible information they would find his remains there. Lauren Mathias speaking for Michael's mother, Brandy.
Even as she was telling
I'm going to pause there for a second. Credible information that he would be found there. Whatever that credible information was, it was enough to arrest somebody for hiding him there.
telling me that that was the word law enforcement used, the word remains. She could hardly say it herself. When she said it to me, she started crying. And she said, I can't say that word yet.
She says the family still doesn't know what, if anything, was found only that an occupant of the house, 35-year-old Sarah Wondra, has been charged with failing to report a death. The smiling little boy, known as Monkey, disappeared in July of 2021. He was at home with his dad and baby sister while mom was at work. Dad says he went to change a diaper, and when he came back, Michael was gone.
Searched the house, searched the backyard, went out in the front yard, jumped in the van, called Brandy.
Last winter, Michael's mom, Brandy, invited our News Nation team to their Idaho home, showing us where the canine search teams had tracked Michael's path as he apparently looked for neighborhood kids to play with.
He went to a neighbor's house. He went to another neighbor's house and another neighbor's house.
But the trail went cold at the end of the street, police labeling the disappearance an abduction, many assuming that meant an outsider.
We have wondered where he could be in the world. And so to find out that they're digging in a home in their neighborhood, a 4-minute walk away, is very, very overwhelming.
I don't think absolutely any of us ever expected it to be somebody quite this close, especially with how close they are to the highway and everything else like that. It was one of those things where people thought they could have just came off of the highway, swept in, scooped him up, and went back onto the highway, just a chance abduction. And this very well still could have been just a chance abduction that happened that quick.
A year and a half of searching and interviewing, police saying they wouldn't give up.
We haven't stopped. Every day we have unfinished business, and I'll tell you that every day is an anniversary of the disappearance from Michael Vaughan.
Now vigils, and the wait to hear if police finally have answers to what happened to Michael.
Beautiful, you guys. Beautiful.
And again, we are awaiting a press conference from police in Fruitland later today. In the meantime, Sarah Wondra was arraigned last week on a charge of failure to report a death. She was declared unfit to stand trial. She will go before a judge again in 90 days. Her husband, his name is Stacy Wondra, is also currently behind bars on unrelated weapons charges. Neither has been charged with Michael Vaughan's disappearance, but again, it was their home authorities were at, excavating in the backyard looking for any evidence.
We don't know yet, Noni of 7. We are still waiting for the press conference. We have about 5 to 7 minutes if they're on time, in order to see. And so here is from KTVB 7. This is their article that they put out this morning.
Trying to find a Medicare plan can be confusing. Health Markets can explain your Medicare.
In the meantime, Fruitland police have finished processing the home and yard off of Red Wing Street in Fruitland, where they were looking for possible remains of now 6-year-old Michael Vaughan, who went missing more than a year ago. Police are holding a news conference to discuss what they found, and the news conference is scheduled for tomorrow at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. Now, it's not open to the public, but we will be sure to update you on whatever information comes out of it.
My Wandra doesn't have an established documented history of mental illness. They better not get her. I know with her, they won't let her get away with that, Savage. Idaho is very, very difficult to get the insanity plea in. Very difficult. And so I don't think that's going to be, one of like they don't even have it really. You just go and you stay until you're competent and then they send you to trial. And so all she'll do is buy time. All she will do is delay things, not, not get it thrown out or anything like that. You agree, you thought it was random, not someone from where he lives. His parents found those children a safe place to live and the neighbor betrayed the community. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine either. And so while I'm feeling nervous, while a lot of us are feeling nervous about what it is that they're going to say, and there's all these emotions for us as the public, imagine what his family, what his parents, what his siblings are feeling right now, waiting for this announcement. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about, honestly. So we're just waiting for this to pop up though. And I know that they are pretty much as in the dark as what we are. So, let me see here. It looks like they are getting set up. Just let me put this up there. So this is a stream from KTVB 7. They're getting set up, so credit to them. That is where I will most likely be watching the stream unless they have bad sound. Then I will jump over to CBS 2, who is also setting up a live stream. So we will see which one is better. I think so too. Something tells you they must have found something and that we're waiting on DNA results before they notify the public. There's a good chance of that. There's a good chance that they may not even have like DNA back, but they got preliminary results. Or there's a chance that they didn't find him. That's always still a possibility. They could have found evidence that he was buried there, but he could have been moved. But something tells me they have some type of evidence that he was there to begin with, because they wouldn't have been able to arrest her.
Check 1, 2, 3. We're live in Fruitland. Okay.
My thing is, are we going to see them announce other charges today? Are they going to announce charges perhaps for Stacy or for one of the other male individuals that was living within that home? We do know that there was other people that had stayed there. I don't know. There was a couple interviews that took place. I personally don't think that should have happened, but I can't control that. That could be potential suspects or potential people that were involved in this. So they wouldn't have necessarily announced that they found him. We seen that just recently in Quentin Simon's. We seen that just recently in Quentin Simon's case. They waited several days before they told us that they had located his remains.
We look out for each other here.
Yeah, is he going to start with a question or just a generic to us? Or whatever, just
So as far as what they may or may not have told the parents, I will say that I have seen before in cases, whenever the parents are active on social media, whenever they are active communicating with the public and things like that, that they won't tell the parents until just before the press conference starts. And that is to protect whatever it is that they're trying to protect, so that the announcement comes from police, so that there's no temptation from the parents to go out and tell the world, right? That way the discussion and what news comes out does come from police. And so they may be talking to Brandy right, minutes before they come live with this. It's supposed to start in 1 minute, Annie.
Yeah, we expect them to file in here any minute now, Dawn. It's been a very busy month for the Fruitland Police Department after really not a whole lot of information, at least shared publicly, since Michael Vaughan went missing July 27th of the last year. So it's been almost a year and a half, but this month they made an arrest and they completely excavated the backyard of a home. Beginning earlier this month, that arrest was made on the 11th. Those digging efforts began on the 12th, and we know they were on scene there for more than a week. We did drive by that area on our way here to Fruitland City Hall today, and it is completely back to normal there. No more police tape, no more crews on scene. The fence is back in place, and it really looks like their efforts there so far, Dawn, are done. No, we've heard this more than once from the family representatives and from the police department that there is no connection between the Vaughan family and the home where this search took place. We know the woman who lives in that home, Sarah Wandra, was taken into custody that Friday night and charged with failing to report a death, specifically naming Michael Vaughan in those reports. Now, there is no connection that we've been told of. Police say there's no connection. They don't know each other, but it is extremely close to the family's home, walking distance in a residential area, only a half a mile from where Michael Vaughan was last seen at his home that evening of July 27th. John?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to start out by saying thank you to our media partners. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the continued coverage of the Michael Vaughan case. I also wanted to begin by just giving my sincere thanks to all the law enforcement agencies, local businesses, and members of the public who helped us over the course of the last year and a half of this intense investigation. More recently, during the last 3 weeks, we could not have completed the work necessary without the selfless help of others. The community support has been absolutely incredible. As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all hands on deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wandra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wandra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active. fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wanderer's residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed. Evidence suggests that there are the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. This is Sarah Wanderer, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Sarah Wanderer is currently being held at the Fayette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. This is Sarah's husband, Stacy Wanderer, 30 years old, a male. Stacy was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacy has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughan. Stacy's currently being held in the Washington County Jail on unrelated charges. Now, the next individuals I'm going to introduce you to, let's go at the bottom there. This is Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacy Wanderer at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Brandon is currently believed to be in North Dakota. Adrian Lucien, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacy Wanderer at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian is currently believed to be in Toledo, but floats between Ohio and California. I strongly encourage Shirtliff and Lucien to contact the Fruitland Police Department detectives as the window of time for talking and cooperation is coming to a close. This remains an active and ongoing investigation, with conversations taking place with the Fayette County Prosecutor's Office about Michael's case and those individuals involved. We also believe that there are others associated with the Wanderers, Shirtliff and Lucien, who may have knowledge of Michael's abduction, and I would strongly encourage them to come forward and speak with my detectives. When we finally reach the conclusion of this investigation, and I can assure you that we will, all of those who have knowledge of Michael's disappearance and have failed to report or hindered our investigation will be pursued. There's a moment in time to do the right thing and bring your information forward and cooperate. And that moment in time is now. To date, the Fruitland Police Department has received over 1,500 tips and leads, and we received many new leads since this phase of the investigation has began. We continue to ask our community for support and patience as we continue to aggressively work this case. We also ask that the Vaughan family's privacy continue to be respected, and we'll continue to post updates as information can be shared. Tips can be sent to findmichael@fruitland.org or to Crime Stoppers at 343cops.com or the Fruitland Police Department at 208-452-3110. Tipsters can remain anonymous. So before I open it up for questions, I just want to make it clear that this is a very active and ongoing investigation. It's super important that we maintain the integrity of this investigation. So I'd ask you that you'd please tailor your questions accordingly. With that, I'll stand for a few questions. Alex?
So if Michael's remains are not found, will Sarah have to be released, or do you think that she will remain in jail once you locate the other people that you think are involved?
It is my belief that she will remain in custody. But again, we're in talks with the Fayette County prosecutor, and those talks are ongoing as far as charging.
And you can't speak to any additional evidence that was found in the house, like you said, you can't.
I cannot. Again, I just don't want to jeopardize the integrity of this investigation. Leslie.
J.P. Wandra is listed as an inmate in Washington County Jail, but he's not on the Idaho court records because it's currently with federal hold. Are there any other charges aside from hers that have been filed in relation to this?
Not that I'm aware of. Not at this point. Go ahead.
What was different about the tip you received in this case after, 1,500 tips over the last almost year and a half? What led to the arrest and the search? Can you share any more about what led you to that home?
I don't want to get into the details on that, but I can assure you that the tip that we received was credible. I also released that in an earlier statement that it came from one of the occupants of the home, which led to that. Yes.
I'm sure that you guys in your investigation are following social media pages, which a lot of us have looked at. And one of them indicates a trip out of state taken within the time frame. Without hampering the investigation, you guys are at least aware of that trip taken to get a dog?
We are currently aware of a lot. Okay. And so I would tell you that you just need to trust us and trust in this investigation. We're making tremendous progress. We're comfortable with where we're at. I appreciate that question.
So Sarah Wandra didn't pass her mental evaluation for when they were in the hearing and things. Do you think this affects the investigation at all, considering that to be the case?
I do not at this point.
There have been mentions of a neighbor's yard. Has that been searched in any way or taken into consideration in this investigation?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we'll be deploying ground penetrating radar in the neighbor's yard tomorrow. So we haven't done that yet, but we will. That's on the agenda for tomorrow. So thank you.
Okay, aside from just living with the Wanders, do we know what the relationship of the two men were? How are they connected with the Wanders?
This is ongoing. I'm not going to get into the semantics and dynamics of the relationship there. Alex?
A lot of neighbors spoke to us about a scooter that maybe you guys were looking for. Can you speak to anything about, like, you had found a scooter, if that was related, or if that's something that you were possibly looking for at the Wanders residence at all?
Again, that's evidentiary in nature, and I'm not going to speak to that at this point. So.
You mentioned the other property that's going to be starting to be searched tomorrow. Are there warrants for any other properties besides that that have been sought out?
Not at this point, but through the course of this investigation, I believe that there are other locations that we will definitely be searching. So there is no warrant for the search that we're going to do tomorrow. It's all consensual. So I appreciate that.
Was the warrant that was executed in CUNA in recent weeks related to Brandon Shirtliff?
We did not have a warrant for any home in CUNA.
But was there a search related to his home?
Yes, there was.
You said that you believe that one of them is in North Dakota and you haven't located him yet. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you mind spelling their last names for us? I'm sorry.
Sure, I can. You obviously have the Wanderer's last name, correct? Okay. Last of Shirtliff is Shurtliff. Last of Lucien is Lucienne. Okay. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to conclude this press conference. Karen, one more.
One more. If neither of these individuals do come forward with information, could they face any charges related to hampering an investigation or anything like that?
I would tell you that, I'm not going to discuss our investigative strategies at this point, but it is my belief that charges are forthcoming. So.
One last question. I know you're very proud of your team. That's really done an amazing job so far. Can you talk more about that and about how how they're doing?
You know,
It's gotta be tough.
it is tough. You know, we've lived this case from the time that it began, and but I'm telling you, I've got a very strong, committed group of people here, and they come in here every day, and we're in this grind, and they are committed to finding Michael, and we're just not going to stop. Everybody should know that we are not going to stop until we uncover the truth in its entirety, I would say. So, thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, God, you guys, I am just devastated for this family. I don't even know what to say. Please, guys, please keep praying for them. You know, I don't. They have evidence that he is deceased. They know that he is deceased. But now they don't know where he is. Evidence that he was previously buried in this backyard, they think, and moved. 2 men that they don't know their locations. One of those 2 men is a suspect that somebody felt was necessary to interview that man while he was sitting in a baby pool or whatever he was doing, drinking beer the whole time. Talking about how police interrogated him or wanted to interrogate him and talk to his family. And my heart's just broken for them. Oh, they need so much. Yeah, it couldn't be worse, MPH. Not only do they hear for sure that he is deceased, and they knew that they were looking for remains, but to hear it, that they have evidence that he is deceased, but now they don't know where he is. That's the worst possible thing. The not knowing. What did they do with their baby? 3 men and this woman. Why did they take him? What did they do to him? This is the worst, the worst. I was really, really hopeful that they were gonna come out and they were gonna say, you know, they found him and there was gonna be arrest issued, and things like that, and that just isn't what happened. Yeah, it sounds like the others were involved. Evidence inside of the house. Yes. And another home that is getting willingly searched without a warrant coming up. Oh, man. Yeah, it is. It's so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Yeah, sick people. Very sick people. And honestly, whenever I seen, yeah, JLR interviewed him, but you could tell he was lying his tail off. And Brandy came out furious after she seen that interview and was like, "Why are you interviewing potential suspects?" Out of every single person that we have seen in this case, that man looked so much like the man wearing the white tank top walking down the road. And police said that they had identified him, and we all thought, "Oh, you know, he must have been identified and is cleared," especially after we seen the Wandras, because we were like, "There is no way that that was the Wandras," right? There was no way that that was Stacy Wandra walking down the road, so my mind went to, they must have cleared that guy, but I'm gonna tell you that he looks like he could have been the white tank top guy to me, in my opinion. He very well could have been the person who seen Monkey walking around and took him to this house for God only knows what. Sounds like everybody else had knowledge about what happened, but they're not saying who they believed did this. And I really wonder if Stacy is the one who spoke up. He's been in jail. If maybe he said something to someone. Yeah, they said 5 to 6 people. He looks like the tank top guy. Yeah, he is skinny enough. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm glad they didn't make this announcement on Wednesday and that they let Brandy have Thanksgiving, but honestly, I can't imagine how she felt Thanksgiving Day knowing that they had stopped searching and were planning to make an announcement. I can't imagine how they have felt for the last week waiting for this announcement to come out. He also said that Sarah kicked the one guy out because of drinking because she doesn't like it, and in the same breath he was saying, yeah, he was drinking while there. It is not what I was expecting either, BC. Knowing, yes, makes you angry and sad all at the same time. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, honestly, I have nothing to say. I'm like forcing myself to talk because honestly, my brain wants to be speechless right now because I just wasn't expecting this. Yeah, thoughts and prayers. I know that not everybody believes in God, but that is something that I hold on to very strongly. And, send up good vibes if you don't. Send up good thoughts, whatever it is that you believe in. But I don't know, guys. I'm gonna end this with a prayer, I think, for them because that's what my heart feels like it needs to do, right? I'm just devastated for them. Absolutely devastated. Dear Lord, please, Lord, comfort this family. Wrap your arms so tight around them and hold them through these moments. Help get them through, Lord, and help find Michael. Give detectives some type of lead, some type of light to show where he is. This family needs a beacon of hope that he will be found someday. And they need comfort knowing that he's with you. Lord, I pray that he didn't suffer. And I honestly pray that these individuals that did this, that it eats away with them every single day until they say what happened. I hope you work in their minds and their hearts and you don't let them sleep or eat or breathe without thinking of his face and what they did to him until the guilt eats away with them, Lord, so that they say where he is. Please be with this family, be with this town, these detectives, all the people who are so close to this case, and just comfort them. And let them know that there's a community behind them. Heal her broken mommy heart and help to get them through each day. In Jesus' name, amen. I don't know, guys. Yeah, 1 minute you're planning a Christmas event, now you're here watching this. So heartbreaking. Need some good news after this, right? Yes, that was Chris McDonough. So Brandy had reached out to him towards the very beginning of this case, and I believe that Cold Case Foundation has actually been assisting in this. He does do YouTube and things like that, but the other side of that is the Cold Case Foundation that he is a part of. And so he's actually been at the home. We've seen several pictures of him during this search being on scene. But notice he hasn't been filming while he's there, right? Because he was actually there to help. I don't know, Kim. They didn't really say. They didn't really say. He'd probably be atheist, but you have to believe you'll see him again. He's been gone 6 years, and it truly breaks the family in a way you would never understand. I am so sorry for your loss. I really am. It's nothing that I ever wish on anyone to have to go through. We lost my cousin was murdered whenever he was young. He had just had a baby 2 weeks before, and it changed our whole family. We were all really close, we were very close. It was something that a lot of us still struggle with. It's almost been 22 years. It has been 22 years. So, yeah, I think murder charges are coming too. I hope they don't have to wait to find him. Yeah, he's been helping the family a lot. You listen to Brandy and Chris. He's very good with that family. That's good. That's good. Not everybody, I mean, likes him because of things that have happened on other cases, right? But I have to believe that most people, some people are in this for the right things. Some cases we might do wrong, but then other cases we might do right. It's hit or miss. And I'm glad that this is one of the ones that he seems to be doing right. I know. They need the charges soon. Very soon. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close down because I don't want to drag this on. But please just keep them in your thoughts. I love you guys. Have a good day.